No worries, Diary. How you doing, hon? No worries. Get your coffee. Hello, everybody. What's going on? It is Missy from Shadows of the Moon. How are you doing? What's going on? Hope all is well. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about everybody was saying how they want to know more about Alaska. And hold on one second because I forgot to shut my door. Give me one second, guys. Okay, I am back. So, anyway, a couple people had come up to me and wanted me to talk more about Alaska, right? What's going on up here. So, the thing of it is, it's what I find so funny is that I wasn't even going to talk about Alaska this week. I forgot exactly what I was going to talk about, but it wasn't going to be Alaska, except that in everything I watched within the last week, was something on the Dark Pyramid here in Alaska. So it's like, does anybody have that, that does other shows or whatnot? Do they have that synchronicity like that? It was just crazy. It was like everything I watched had a mention of Alaska's Dark Pyramid. And I wasn't even watching Alaska stuff. So it's really weird. So I'm like, well, I better talk about this. And whether this was a TV show, a YouTube show, anything that I was watching kept popping up Alaska Dark Pyramid. Let me get my energy. So, anyway, I figured let's pull up some stuff. Now, mind you, this stuff is from like 2017 or whatnot, but it's still going on, you know, about this pyramid that we supposedly have up here that is a military base underground, which is also an alien base underground. So, is it possible? We don't know. That's what we're going to chat about today. So, if you guys would like to join me, of course, I will put in. Oh, of course, I can't put it in there. Where's my OBS? There it is. I will put the link in chat if you'd like to come up and chat. That is not the link. That is the wrong link. No problem, diary. Hey, freaky geek, how you doing? Now I had this copied. No, I don't want to go there. I want to copy. My fingers are not working with me this morning. No problem, diary. So yeah, like all the synchronicities kept coming up to me talking about the Dark Pyramid in Alaska. Did you see my message, Freaky, in there? Hopefully you did. I put a message in there that said, if you're watching this, you're watching the wrong one. Hey, Miss Carrie, how you doing, hon? How's everybody doing? Hey, Tommy, how you doing? Okay, good. I'm glad it stayed. I was hoping would stick and everybody would realize that, oh, this is the wrong one. I don't know why YouTube does this. I don't know which one to do it under. I don't know. I'm lucky I know how to go live. So what I was just explaining was that I don't know if you guys heard me or whatnot, but I wonder if other shows go through this. Like I had some people come up to me and ask if, damn it, it's still going. I thought I got rid of it. Anyway, I had people ask me to do stuff about Alaska, right? And I'm thinking, okay, down the line, I'll do that, right? So it was in the last week or so, everything that I watched had to do with the Alaskan Dark Pyramid. Whether, like I said, it'd be a TV show, a YouTube video, a documentary somewhere, okay, it would mention the Alaskan Dark Pyramid. So I'm like, well, all this synchronicity, I better talk about the Dark Pyramid. So some of this stuff is back about 2017. They found the Alaskan Dark Pyramid, supposedly, in 2012. I believe that's when it was. I'm sure it'll tell us. But anyway, so why is it going so fast now? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to shut my links off. That stuff, it's driving me nuts. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me shut the timer's off. Okay. There we go. Hopefully they'll stop now. But anyway, so yeah, all the synchronicity kept coming up and stuff like that. So it was like really weird. So I'm like, well, I should probably do a show on the Dark Pyramids. And as always, I'll be sharing the link in chat. If anybody wants to come up and talk about it. So this whole Alaskan pyramid is supposed to have a military base in it and supposed to have supposedly an alien base in it. Let me go ahead and pull this up. So it says the world's oldest pyramid discovered in Alaska. The snow and ice at the most northern and southern parts of the world are melting at an alarming rate, so to speak, owing to ongoing effect of climate change. Most people are aware of the terrible damage that is composed for life on planet Earth, but a few people are aware of the incredible opportunities the ecological disaster is presenting for archaeologists. The pyramids were first discovered by a team of geologists who were on a hiking expedition across the glorious Alaskan landscape. They found that only the upper section of the pyramid had been exposed at that time. When they investigated the rock formation, they concluded almost instantly that it was not a natural construction. They noted that the rocks had been stacked carefully on top of one another in a similar manner to the ancient megaliths, such as the famed pyramids built by the ancient Egyptians. Following this discovery, a scheduled Chinese underground nuclear test led to more revelations about the mysterious pyramids. Scientists collated a huge amount of seismic data about the area to assure that the underground nuclear test would be safe. And this led to them confirming the existence of two pyramids buried deep beneath the Alaskan snow. They also just suggested that the pyramids were larger than the towering Great Pyramid of Giza. The discovery of the pyramids had surprised some people, but their existence came with no surprise to anthropologist researchers such as Linda Moulton Howe. The indigenous people of Alaska have long spoken about the existence of pyramids in the region, which play a central role in some of their ancient mythology. They describe the pyramids as the Bermuda Triangle-esque area, which is controlled by an evil spirit named Kushta, who captures lost travelers who wander too close to the pyramids. Now, this has a video that I'm going to play. What do you guys think? No problem, diary. Now, I'm going to play this video. It's a little long, but, you know, what are you going to do? But this is actually the first video that caught my attention about it. I'm not going to lie. And you know what? Hold on one second. Because, again, I have to allow the audio. There we go. Let me know if you guys can hear this okay. Oh, that was full screen. I knew that.
You have been working on in Alaska. That is one of my all-time favorite stories of yours, and how it relates to the gods that are in antiquity.
I got a call from a man who said I had...
Can you guys hear that okay? Awesome. Hey, Lisa, how you doing?
served in an intelligence unit at Fort Richardson in Alaska. And he said there were about 40 of us in a rec room one night at the end of 1993, where they were watching television just like normal after dinner. And there was a program that came on and said that there was a special about a large pyramid that had been found underground about 60 miles west of Mount McKinley in the Denali Park. And the Fort Richardson intel guy said that they all talked in the rec room about, my God, here we are in Alaska, and they're saying there's this huge pyramid, that it's underground. I want to find out more about that. After this broadcast, I thought I want to go and explore this area. So he called up the Channel 13 TV station in Anchorage and said, I just saw with other guys this show, and I would like to buy a copy of this program. And so he said, I just decided I would drive down to that station, and I asked for the manager's office, came out, I said, I would like to pay money for a copy of that program that you had on last night about the underground pyramid in Alaska. And now he's talking to the general manager, and the general manager said, you must be mistaken. We didn't broadcast anything last night about an underground pyramid. He said, well, I was with 40 guys, and we watched it and we talked about it. It was on your station. And the manager said, no, there's been some misunderstanding. And the intel guy says, the manager goes back into his office. He's walking to leave in great confusion, and a man came toward him, said, I'm an engineer, and I just wanted to tell you, yes, we did do a broadcast. You're right, and left. So he had this mystery and said, can you help me find this videotape? I went on Coast and did an Earth Files and a Dreamland with Whitley Strieber, and we were saying, if there's anybody out there who has any information about this pyramid, please get in contact with me. And that was followed by two people, both the second generation of the firsthand experiencers. I did a series of reports with what would be the sons of men who had firsthand experiences about this big underground pyramid. And to boil it all down to perhaps the most dramatic, the son of one father, they lived on a farm, and his dad at that time in the 50s and into the early 60s, starting, I think, right after World War II, had worked with Bell Labs and had been part of what was then the biggest operation of the United States government after World War II, was called White Alice, and the building of the DEW line up in Alaska and to the Northern Territories with the idea that we would have some sort of a wall of monitoring the Soviet Union coming over the pole. So we put in 10, 12,000, maybe more people into the Canada, Alaska, Northern Territory areas to build the DEW line and a project called White Alice. Then I talked with a pilot who said that he had some information that they probably discovered that there was a magnetic anomaly inland 60 miles west of Mount McKinley, that he did not have firsthand knowledge that there was a pyramid under the magnetic anomaly, but that it had affected planes and helicopters. One of these witnesses, beyond the man who had worked in the Bell Lab that became later on AT&T, work all the way back to after World War II, that man had told his son that he went and was assigned to work where they went in mining elevators at the surface, and that he could count by time when he got to the bottom that they were down at least 900 feet below the surface. But he said that his father described for him in great detail how at the bottom of this pyramid, the father was able to work only on one vertex. You know, you think of a pyramid, the pyramid top was 150 feet from the surface. So here's the surface with grass and trees, come down 150 feet. Here's the top of the vertex, then come down another 750 feet. And that the scientist was working, he was an electrical engineer with physics background. He was assigned to work on one vertex and told his son that they learned that this could generate enough power to power the entire nation of Canada. I got a contact from another son who said, my dad flew in a helicopter with an Air Force crew, and they went from the west coast of Alaska, and they went by time and the distance of the helicopter would have been about to a point about 60 miles west of Mount McKinley. The father could see Mount McKinley, and that as they approached a certain place, the pilot told his father, just stand by, it's going to get rough. I've been briefed. Don't worry. And the father said, what is wrong? He said, well, we've got a pyramid here. It's underground. And I've been told that it's extremely ancient. Our government does not know who made it. It is deep underground. We're trying to study it. And that he understood that it could power Canada, it might power the world, that something about this big pyramid had the ability to put out a great deal of energy, and that it caused magnetic anomalies, and that suddenly the helicopter began to buck like a horse, and the pilot got the helicopter down, but they did not fully land. As the helicopter came down, just barely touching the ground, these men, security guards with guns, they opened the, pulled out whatever the cargo was, which was extremely heavy, pulled it out onto the ground, and one of the people with the gun said, take off now. And they took off. Now that is anecdotal, and as well as the other, because both of those fathers are not here, they passed on, but the sons at least are a secondhand testimony about quite detailed discussions with their fathers. And in the second case, the mother has talked to me and communicated to me that that what her son told me was true, and that she has always told him, you can't ever give out our name because of the consequences that people have on pensions if they have signed non-disclosure agreements and their names are out there and somebody can tie a family or family name then there can be punishment, that sort of thing. Those are the dominoes that fall around these stories, and why it is so difficult to get people on the record with real names, real backgrounds. And I think at this point, I've had 2 emails and 1 handwritten letter, literally handwritten in cursive, sent to me in hard mail saying, want you to know I have firsthand information the underground pyramid in Alaska is real. How far back and what has been the influence of extraterrestrials on this planet, like the DIA guy told me 270 million years ago, 3 competing civilizations, and that we humans, Homo sapiens sapien, got down on our knees and called them gods. And that right now on this planet, the death and destruction over whose God is better than another God is insane. So if there are
True.
non-humans
Yes, yes. That's Linda Moulton Howe. So what do you guys think? Wasn't that cool? I mean, like I said, that was the first video that ever I saw it a couple years ago that I was like, wow, really? You know what I mean? And to see the different pictures. Hold on, I'll bring some up. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's one of those things where you're like, Now I've never been to Mount McKinley. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. I've seen it from far distance, which is it's funny because Mount McKinley is well, now it's like Mount Denali or something, but it used to be Mount McKinley. It's very hard to see when you're looking for it, because usually it's covered in clouds. And the day that I got to see it, yeah, Lisa, yeah, she's talked about it all over the place. The day I saw it, it was clear day, so it was really cool to see. All right, Freaky Geek, hurry back. Let's see, and let me try to share my screen again. There we go. So, yeah, here's the pyramid that they were showing. Right there. Now, this is supposed to be, like I said, up top of Mount McKinley. But underneath, there it is, kind of. Let's see if I can blow it up some more. Oh, it's not going to. Oh, okay, there we go. So that's what it looks like underneath the snow. Or not underneath the snow, but the pattern. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy if you think about it. Like, underneath is supposed to be this dark pyramid. It says what the geologist said they found under Alaska. But what the weird thing about it is it's all hush-hush now. It's all hush-hush. Like, nobody can go down there. Nobody can, Yeah, this is where Linda was on Coast to Coast. I don't know why I pulled that up. So, freaking advertisements. So this makes me think, because they said there was a yes, there was, Lisa. Yes. I'm not sure exactly where, but it makes me think, because like I said, there was an anomaly, like Bermuda Triangle lets off, weird magnetic anomalies. But what's fascinating is that we have the Alaskan Triangle, okay, where planes have gone missing, people have gone missing. I mean, now granted, there are a lot of ways to go missing in Alaska. People know how to hide bodies, no, but there's a lot of bear attacks. People go missing all the time. But the weird thing about it, that has to do with the Alaskan Triangle is like the missing Douglas. I don't know if you guys heard about the missing Douglas, but the missing Douglas was a plane back. Yeah, Lil Red. It's the same with my husband too. He's been over the Bermuda Triangle many times when he was in the military, and he felt nothing too. Welcome back, Freaky Geek. But I was actually discussing or listening to a podcast last night where it comes in waves. You know what I mean? Just like, right, Freaky Geek, that would be freaky. But it comes in waves, you know what I mean? Like certain amount this year, certain amount of people go missing, then it stops. Kind of like how the cryptids, people see certain, like right now, what's going on right now. Like a lot of people are seeing thunderbirds, like in Chicago, or flying animals at least, right? But last year it was the dogs. I can't think of what they're called. But it kind of goes in waves, like with the Bermuda Triangle and here. Now, the Douglas, what was weird about the Douglas is it went missing, and then like a week later, they heard transmissions from it. Now, this was a big plane. Here, let me pull up the Douglas so you guys can see what I mean. This happened in 1950. Let me see if I can get an image. I don't want to see everybody named Douglas. The missing Douglas airplane. Okay. Here we go. So this was a C-54D in 1950, okay? No, it was, was it the Black Hounds? Not the Hounds of Hell. Dogman, that's what it was. Dogman came up. Hey, Lunar, how are you? Thanks for coming in. So, I mean, the Douglas was a huge plane. And I mean, I know there are times when people can't, when there's crashes and stuff like that, they don't find wreckage. But this was a huge plane, you know what I mean? And if this went down, they were bound to see. I mean, after it blimped off the screen, they sent up, people to go searching for it. There should have been some wreckage, okay? But the weird part about it and I want to get my information right. That's why I'm. On January 26, 1950, the Douglas C-54 Skymaster serial number blah, blah, blah disappeared en route from Alaska to Montana. With 44 people aboard. The aircraft made its last radio contact 2 hours into its 8-hour flight, despite one of the largest rescue efforts carried out by the U.S. military. No trace of the aircraft was ever found. It is considered one of the largest groups of American military personnel to ever go missing. So, I mean, 7,000 personnel searching 350,000 square miles. Yes, that's a lot to coverage, but don't you think they would have found something? So they think what happens with the Alaskan pyramid is that there's that anomaly. I can't say that word. But that kind of like the Bermuda Triangle where it messes with the instruments. On February 2nd, yeah, that's January 26th. On February 2nd, it was reported that 2 planes and 2 radio stations in the Yukon area had heard unintelligible radio signals, but attempts to fix the position were fruitless. So they believe on February 2nd that they got transmissions from the plane. So did it go into a portal? What did it do? Do you know what I mean? So that's where they think that, because of around Mount McKinley, there's such weird anomalies there that it messes with planes, equipment, kind of, like I said, kind of like the Bermuda Triangle. But yeah, so it's very strange of what goes on. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of ways to go missing in Alaska, but we do have a lot of people missing, So this guy did a remote view where you sit there and you basically astro travel, right? In his 1997 book, Remote Viewers, Jim Schnabel told the story of the U.S. intelligence community's involvement in the controversial issue of psychic spying that largely began in the early to mid 1970s. Commenting on the skills of a talented remote viewer in relation to a matter of the UFO nature, one Pat Price, Schnabel noted Price was of the opinion that Alaska's Mount Hayes, okay, here's Mount Hayes, the jewel of the glacial range northeast of Anchorage, housed one of the largest alien bases. According to Pat Price, the aliens that lived deep down inside Mount Hayes were very human-looking, different only in their hearts, lungs, blood, and eyes. Obviously, he added that the aliens used thought transfer to motor control of us. Price added, the site also had been responsible for a strange activity and malfunctions of U.S. and Soviet space objects. We have such pretty landscape up here. I cannot deny that. Rather notably, despite the controversial nature of the story, we find that the U.S. military took a great deal of interest in tales of UFO activity in Alaska in the formative years of the subject. For example, a formerly classified FBI files tell of startling UFO encounters in Alaska in the period of 1947 to 1950. It was in August of 47 that a high impressive account of a UFO incident involving 2 serving members of the military was supplied by the FBI at Anchorage. The report began, this is to advise that 2 Army officers reported to the Office of Director of Intelligence Headquarters, Alaskan Department at Fort Richardson, Alaska, that they had witnessed an object passing through the air at a tremendous rate of speed, which could not be judged to miles per hour. According to the official report, the UFO was initially sighted only by 2 officers, but he soon alerted his colleague to the strange sight. The object appeared to be shaped like a sphere and did not give the impression of being a saucer-like or comparable to a disc. The first officer stated that it would be impossible to give minute detail concerning the object, but that it appeared to be approximately 2 to 3 feet in diameter and did not leave any vapor trail in the sky. Yeah, Freaky Geek. Yeah, that's, kind of like the remote viewing, and stuff like that. They really did a lot of research on different metaphysical things. We all would be in deep doo-doo if you could read minds. Even you? So yeah, they brought remote viewers in. They wanted to spy on everybody. So they believed that stuff happened. Like that movie. What's that movie? Men Staring at Sheeps? Now, this is alien UFO sightings. Here, I can put it in the chat for you. Oh, I can't post up there. Hold on, I gotta bring up my... You're welcome, hon. Anytime you want a link, let me know. I try to post them, and then I forget. So, now in Fort Richardson, like when I was listening to Haunted Road Media, Mike was stationed there in 1993 and 94, I think he said, or from 92 to 94. I'm not sure exactly. We can build a chain link fence. He said that base, at least Edelman, or no, was he in Edelman? But he said anyway, the base in Anchorage, so that had been Fort Richardson? No, Edelman's in, I don't know. Maybe they're both in Anchorage. Who the hell knows? I know it's an Air Force base and obviously an Army base. I think Fort Richardson is an Army base. We hear more about Edelman because of the fact that that's where all our information comes from. Anyway, he said that base in Anchorage, it was weird. Like it felt weird. So anyway, according to the official report, the UFO was initially sighted by only the 2 I already read that part. Experienced officer that he was, his first attempt to gauge the altitude of the object and from a comparison to the cloud formation in the area has determined that whatever the nature of the mystery sphere, it was cruising at a height of more than 10,000 feet. And it should be noted to be at such a height and still visible. In all probability, the UFO must have exceeded a wide margin in the initial estimate of 2 to 3 feet. Okay, I did fix that link. I did fix that link. Hold on, I gotta remember how the hell. Where am I at? Oh, there it is. Copy. That should work. Freaky geek. Last night I did bring up the UFO sightings. Like, I wanted to see, I can't find anywhere like how many sightings like Alaska has seen compared to the lower 48s. I mean, I know I could go to MUFON, but there's another site that we use here. Or at least that, oh, right there. Am I sharing this? I don't even know if I'm sharing this. Okay. So, like, the last sighting was February 24th, 2020 at the North Pole. And I wanted to find out who had what part of Alaska. Oh, Lisa, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you feel better, hon. Like, what part of Alaska had the most sightings? And from what I gather, it's Anchorage, which is 6 hours away from where I am. The North Pole had a yellowish sphere with light and haze to it. Stopped, went back in the direction it came from. Now, I can't remember if I told you guys about what happened to me and Eddie. Did I tell you guys about that? This happened within a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Oh, really, Lunar? Lisa, I don't even know what to take about that. Now I had watched that, of course, years ago when it first came out, right? And it's funny because the first person that I asked was my friend Janet, right? And if you're Facebook friends with me, Facebook friends, she's Jing on there, but she's native to Alaska, right? And so I was like, Janet, is there like really, I mean, is Nome like really like that? Like, you know what I mean? And she's like, you know what she said to me? Well, I don't know if she was joking because we had just, became coworkers or whatnot. She goes, well, the cops do know how to, I think the cops had something to do with it. They know how to hide bodies. Like, wow, okay. I should go back and ask her again. I know she's not home now. She's visiting family, but I would have her come up here if she would. But it's a movie, Freaky Geek, The Fourth Kind, and it was wild. It's a wild movie. Did it work, Diary? Awesome. Yeah, I live 6 hours away from Anchorage. So they did have a sighting in Valdez here. I did see 8/8/2019. Intelligent light in the sky disappears when spotted by observer. Now that's funny that it was mentioned. Well then, hey Blue, how you doing? Lunar, he probably knows about the hikers, the three brothers that got killed on Mount McKinley. That's actually friends of mine's father. One of them was their father. But so there's this one bright star that's always out like this time of year. I watched it continuously when we lived downstairs. I was always out having a cigarette out in the back, and you could see it. It's a bright star. It's really cool. I can't remember the name of it. because I've star mapped it before, right? So Eddie comes out one day. I was working. Eddie comes downstairs. He's like, "Hon, there's like a really bright star out there." And I'm like, "Honey," I'm like, "that's the star that we see every year. That is so cool because it's so bright, right?" So he goes, "Come here, just look at it." And so I went out and looked at it. I'm like, "It's the star we see every year, right?" And I'm like, "Here," I said, "hold my cigarette." I went back in, I grabbed my phone. I'm like, "I'll map it for you." So I go out there, right? And I go to map the star with my phone to figure out what star it is. And it disappeared on me. Here I am trying to disprove this, that it's the star to Eddie, and it freaking disappears on me. I'm like, that did not just happen. And I'm like, seriously? It was so funny because, yeah, at Freaky Geek, I see the satellites. See, it's so much easier up here to notice what is satellites and what's not because it's so dark. You know what I mean? Like there's no ambient, there is ambient light from the city, but it's not as much as you know. Okay, diary. Yeah, go for it. But I mean, here I am. I was so mad that I was trying to disprove him so he'd stop freaking out. And it disappeared right in front of me. And it didn't go behind the mountain. The moon was out. The sky was bright. There was no clouds in the sky. I mean, not, did I say that the sky was bright? I meant the moon was bright. Yeah, you can definitely tell satellites. Yeah, and he's up here too, not in Alaska, but he's up in Canada to where is when you're up this high, like the moon. I wish I could, like when I take a picture of the moon, it looks so stupid compared to what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? It's so bright and like you feel like you could reach up and pull it down. You know what I mean? No, yeah, it wasn't Venus. I didn't see any fly traps. So, or fly trapped. But yeah, satellites are very easy to tell up here. But it was just funny how I'm trying to disprove this to Eddie and it disappears on me. And then it's back. It's back because it was there last night. Every time I go out from the cigarette, when it gets dark, I'm looking up at the sky going, you know. So I don't know what the hell is going on. I always constantly look at the sky here, always, because it's easy to, it's so you see everything. It's beautiful. This, matter of fact, moving up here and watching the sky is how I saw satellites. Back home, I've never seen satellites before, but up here, you can tell. And I'm still trying to figure out who was in my live the other night when I was doing the. Okay, cool. I will try those. Oh, it's Apple though. I'm not an iPhone user. I'm an Android girl. I'm sure they have an app though. But who was in my live the other night when that sound kept coming over the spirit box? That do do do. I'm still trying because I've heard that before. I've heard it like within UFO sounds. It's a very weird, like, I want to know where that sound come from because it was coming over the spirit box, right? And it was, I had the going. It was over multiple channels, but it would go do do do. I think Blue, you were here, weren't you? Oh, well, isn't that nice? Oh, thank you. I just realized that was Discord. Thanks, Blue, for signing up. I'm going to put more information on there. I'm going to have all my different stories, all my witchy spells, all my everything is going in my Discord. I just have to have time to work on it while I'm at work. Shh. What made me move up here, Lunar? No, the moon didn't move. Well, it did, but it not like that sense. Yeah, the moon up here, it looks so close, like you could reach up and pull it down to you. That's yeah, and that there's no way I could have heard it coming through your computer. I mean, you weren't in the stream or anything, but yeah, it was do do do. It was just those three little notes. Do do do. But it kept doing it over and over again. It was so weird. And it gives me chills because I've heard that before. Lunar, I'll answer your question. What happened is we were living in New York. There was a job offered to Eddie to work in the cannery up here. Okay. In the cannery up here, when you work at it and you actually get fish and work, you can make like really good money in 3 months during the season. So it was like to get our bills paid off and stuff like that. He's like, how about I go to Valdez and work at the cannery? And I'm like, okay. Excuse me. So he came up here. That year was a terrible salmon season. He worked like 19 hours in the 3 months. You know what I mean? That kind of deal. It was really, really bad. So they encouraged people to go out and get jobs out in town. So he did, which normally that's a no-no. Like if you go try to get a second job, the cannery will fire you. I mean, they're really strict about that. So he got a job at one of the other hotels cooking. That ended up burning down. Not his fault. But it's back up now, so it's okay. And then when he went back to cooking, which he's been doing for like 30 years. So he come over here for a cup of coffee, and our boss now says, "What do you do?" And he's like, "I'm a cook." And she's like, "Oh, you're a cook?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm a breakfast cook." And I've been doing it for, long time. So she gave him an application, and boom, he got hired, and he kind of bribed me. He's like, would you like me to come home, save up and come home, or picture? Would you like to come up here? And I'm like, well, I've never been to the West Coast. That's about as west as he can get. Okay. So I moved up here 4 years ago. We're going on 4 years. Now, Freaky, you have seen the moon move? Hold on, I got to scroll back here. Because I've heard of that. Okay. And vibrating, never seen like that since. You know what? I just saw a thing on a documentary about a different, I forgot where it was. Crap, and I looked it up too because I thought it was cool, where the sun does that. And I wonder if that's where it was with you. It's like the only place on a planet that the sun does that, which is weird, right? Like, who would think, oh, it wasn't the moon, it was the sun. I just realized that I probably said sun. Wow, Lisa, that's wild. That is really wicked wild. But yeah, Freaky Geek, there's a place where the sun like vibrates and like, no, it spins. The sun, you can see it spinning. Oh, really? See, I wonder if that was that place. I just saw somebody talking about that, like a documentary or something. And no, salmon can't be terrible fish, but they have bad seasons where they don't spawn as good. Or if it's too hot, they dive. And then the guys on boats, like the Deadliest Catch boats, their nets don't extend that far down where how far they dive. So they can't catch them. And then the canneries do shitty work all year. Well, for the season anyway. But yeah. Yeah, I know. That would, if I ever saw that, walked up on something like that, I'd be like, what? I'm leaving. I seen something I thought was the moon, and the moon was on the other side. Me and my kudo got confused. Like, what? You know, I've heard of people saying that though. They've seen a double, like a reflection of the moon on a different side of the sky. And then it disappears. That's so wild. And before anybody asks, yes, I lost my thumbnails. my fake thumbnails. I still have my real ones. Doing damn laundry for the hotel. But yeah, so Anchorage, it looks on this list at least, that it's the one that has the most UFO sightings up here. And when you see like Wasilla and Palmer, I consider them Anchorage too, because they're not Anchorage, but they're right around Anchorage. Ketchikan is more like these other Ketchikan, Ninana, I don't know if that's how you say it, are more like out in the wild. There's Valdez, Alaska, right over Prince William Sound, blinks on and off when noticed during the sky nights. I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. Let me click. Okay. No, I was thinking that maybe one didn't have a. I don't know. I guess remote. That's what I'm looking for. Like the na. I think that's more remote. But yeah, we don't get that. At least that's reported here. I mean, this is, but they got to remember, like the first night I think I worked. Oh, sorry. This one says, my friend said that there was many people who seen a spacecraft hovering over satellite dishes. That's weird. Now, okay, Freaky Geek, no worries. That's not what I want. Like the first night that I worked nights here, I went outside to have a cigarette, and it was cool. At first I didn't know what the hell it was, but it was really cool because the Air Force is right, like I said, it's in Anchorage, and they were training, and I didn't know, but I saw all of a sudden I seen these headlights, like there was like 6 to 8 different planes coming in formation, and I'm like, when you're out in the dark, you're somewhere you've never been before. You know what I mean? You're sitting there watching. It's like, what the hell is that? Because it didn't come. I mean, our one airplane that comes here twice daily, once on weekends, it has a straight path. You know it. You hear it. You know what I mean? These I didn't hear. Yeah, exactly, Lisa. There is a lot of activity, different types of activity all over the place in Alaska. But yeah, when the Air Force was out practicing, they came in a strange pattern and then went around behind the mountains and that. But I mean, I was like, I was in a strange place. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I'm like, what is that? And then I figured it out because you couldn't hear them. You couldn't hear them till after they passed, you know. Hey, Jim. What news? What news, Jim? Oh, wrong thing. But it did. It scared me. I mean, there's a lot. I want to see something. I can't wait till the summertime because I can at least, I mean, can't leave it out there by itself, but I would love to put my full spectrum camera out. I want to put it out and shoot it towards the sky. Oh, Jim, thank you for bringing that up because I want people to know. Let me tell you something. That happens all the time. It's not something new. Every once in a while, the news will pick it up, and it's stupid. The Russian planes are. That's false media. It happens all the time here. All the time. The Russians are in international space air. They don't come into our air. You know what I mean? Yes, that's what our troops are trained to do, is if it gets close, you know what I mean? Yeah, it happens all the time. People will tell you that all the time because we are so close. You know what I mean? We are so close to Russia. I mean, in Dutch Harbor, you can look, well, there's a couple more places, obviously, north that you can look and see Russia. So, I mean, you know, but the news every once in a while likes to hype it up. We see it all the time. Hey, Power Cart, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I didn't know it clapped or applauded. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. But yeah, it happens all the time. We're so close to each other. I'm sure some of our planes go in their territory too. And their news are like, US is trying to attack. You wouldn't think so, but it does. It happens all the time. But I did want to bring that up. And I thank you, Jim, for doing that. Because I totally, forgot. And I forgot to tell you guys the other big news, right? So my coworker, now we're getting ready for season, right? So my coworker, his job right now is to shampoo the carpets. Okay. So this happened 3 days ago, I think. So me and Daddy are coming upstairs. We're heading, just out having a cigarette. Yeah, I know. It's wild, Jim. They do that all the time. I don't even our stations, or I see it all the time on our Facebook on the news site for Alaska. Like, we know about this, duh, but they got to get their ratings too, I guess. So me and Eddie come back up from having a cigarette, walking up the stairs, and we pass my coworker, say, hey, looks like you're having fun, that type of thing. We come into the bedroom, we come into our room. We're sitting there getting ready to watch TV. There's a knock on the door, and it's my coworker. Goes to Eddie, did anybody go in that room that he's in one of the rooms, right? Eddie's like, no. He goes, not that I'm aware of. We went right in our room, and he's like, so Alex is like, come here. So he took Eddie down there, and apparently he goes, now what I did, he goes, what I do is I move the furniture out of the way. I open up the window because it gets hot. And he goes, and I go fill up the machine. So I was like, okay. He goes, what do you see on that window right there? He goes, I came back in here, and he goes, I went once. And he was very thorough about what he was doing. He's like, I went once, twice, and I happened to look up. There was a help me written on the window. There was help me. And they said that down between a couple rooms down there, that you walk down there. I haven't tried it because I've been so busy. I heard about that, Lisa. Somebody else was talking about that too, and I meant to look it up. Thank you. I will definitely look that video up. Somebody, or when you walk down there, it's a strange vibe, like you pass through something. It's very weird. Eddie tried going down there for a little bit, but not like my grid light. My grid light was working no problem. He took that down there, and he goes, within 2 seconds, he goes, it was out. Excuse me. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if because they're aware that like me and Eddie have this equipment or whatnot, if it's stirring things up in the hotel. Do you know what I mean? I'm scared that we're like, that's why I haven't really done anything, because I'm scared to, like, I don't want to disturb anything more. Not for my sake, not for anybody's sake, really. For my boss's sake, because they don't like talking about it. They don't like anything about that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like caught in a hard, I want to investigate, but I don't want them to get mad at me. Obviously, it's where I live and work. So I'm like caught in such between a rock and a hard place, because I just don't know what to do. It's like I don't want to go around, obviously I can't go around saging the place. I'll set the alarms off. They're so sensitive. But but I don't want to do that because I want to investigate it too. I mean, not that I'm trying to be selfish or anything, but but Alex told me that, and me and Eddie that, and I was like, what? And Eddie said, I didn't look at it. I should go down and look at it, really. But he said it wasn't like a human. He goes, it was small. It wasn't, not like a kid's writing, though. It was just weird. Well, it's hard because we have security cameras all around. So if they see us snooping around from room to room, they're going to be like, what are they doing? Yeah, Jim, that's what I'm thinking. Because I mean, like, everybody knew that this place had, even my bosses will admit, yeah, something's weird going on, but they don't like talking about it and stuff like that. But, now it seems like it's more since that whole incident with the mirror downstairs and but it's weird because, like, as much as I saw shadow people downstairs, I don't see them up here. I'll see them once in a while. We'll have this one dude hanging out or whatnot, but it's not like it was downstairs. Right, Jim? I just have to be careful on how I do it. That's why I try to calm Eddie down because he gets excited. He wants to go, 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 go. And I'm like, you got to do this, so we don't get busted. And they're like, what are you doing? And get mad at us or something. I mean, my boss, my general manager, he won't get mad because he knows. Well, he might get mad. I don't know. He's just protective of his parents, and his parents don't like anything. Yeah, I think that's what happened downstairs, Jim. They just realized, well, I'm empathic. I sat there and, but like I'm the type of person where I don't freak out over things. I mean, that helped me. That's a little creepy. But like things don't scare me. Like I know one of the people, here is a housekeeper, and Eddie's the type that he wants to go tell everybody. It's almost like telling my kids. The other night when Ryan was on, it was like, I remember telling my kids, well, don't tell too many people that mom's a witch because this, there's consequences and stuff like that. And it's kind of like I have to do the same for Eddie. Like, you can't go around telling Gus that the place is haunted, Yeah, he wants to stand out there and bullshit with people and tell them, hey, by the way, have you heard anything? You know what I mean? Where I'm at the front desk, I'm like, oh no, people are asking me. So then my room feels a little weird. Is this place haunted? I'm like, I've had no guests tell me that, which I'm not lying. We all know. Oh, so but by the way, people, I don't know if you guys are interested in this or whatnot. By the way, people, that was like rude. I am so sorry. Wow, I got excited there about what I'm gonna do, and sorry. I apologize, guys. You are my peeps. You are my peeps. Right? Well, you know what, Jim? You know what I say? When it comes to my family and stuff, because I've always had paranormal friends on my Facebook, but like posting stuff, I very rarely posted stuff about paranormal and shit. I just got old enough to where I don't give a shit anymore. I think, Lisa, it's just a different way of looking at things, if that makes sense. Blue, Discord is like a forum type thing, but on there, if people want to call into the show, they don't have to call into the show. Like I won't get their number. They can just go to that live part and come on the show, if that makes sense. But Lisa, yeah, like just different things that you know what I mean? I think it's how we look at each other. What we manifest in it. It's hard to explain. And if anybody can explain it better than I do, please come up. And I didn't share the link, did I? I did. I thought I did. If anybody would, no, that's the Discord link now. Every time I go to share it, I think I have something different on there. It's how we look. It's kind of like how I say when we pass on. I don't think I would be scared, Lisa. I might be. If it's jumpy scary, yes, I'm human. I'm going to jump. But it's kind of like I've experienced, I've had my near death experience, and the way I perceived it is if somebody believes that they're going to heaven, they're going to go to heaven. Somebody believes that, you know what I mean, they're back on earth, they'll be back on earth. It's just that type of thing. Yeah. What Diary said, Blue. I just have a different take on the world, the spiritual world and the mundane. Like in my years of researching paranormal and playing with most stuff that people won't play with, I've never had anything bad happen to me. Have I been scared? Yes. I'm not going to lie. I'm human. I'm going to be scared. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that I don't dwell on, if that's the case. Or not if that's the case. It's the way I look at things, I guess. I look at things in a totally different status, I guess, than most people. Oh, so what I was saying, what I'm going to do is I got a whole bunch of music lined up where I'm going to start taking requests. I got my Sam broadcaster re-downloaded because I used to do internet music for different things. So like on the weekends when I'm not live streaming about this stuff, like on Twitch and D Live and all that, I'm gonna have like music nights. We'll figure out something else, too. And on my days off, I miss DJing online. But I'll be taking requests and stuff like that. So it'll be your own little personal radio station type deal. And we'll chat, obviously, and I'll have people up in that. It'll be a night of hanging out and having fun and requesting songs and all that good stuff. Excuse me, holy crap. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. But yeah, so what do you guys think? Do you think, like, when I talk about pyramids and stuff like that, or the Bermuda Triangle, do you know what I think of? And I think I've said that before with this too, is that I think, like, there's a Makerba in the middle of the earth, and, like, the different points are pointing out. And I really got to sit down and research this because something is going on. We're different, kind of like ley lines and how they have different things. Yeah, Diary, exactly. It's something new and crazy and something I've done before. So, but yeah, I think the different points are sticking out of the earth. Do you know what I mean? They also said that there's let me see if I can bring it up here, that we have a Sphinx here. And now I get what they're saying. Now we do have a mountain here that is the Sphinx, but it's like a skiers. That's what they call it. Sphinx. Helps to spell it right. Alaska. Now I got to find the right one because, like I said, we do have a mountain here that people ski on. That's called the Sphinx. There it is. Oh, that's Romania. That ain't us. I mean, I know I'm out of the way. Thanks, Lisa. I try to keep it interesting. Anytime you guys have ideas or whatnot. There it is. Oh, open image, new tab. Let me get it zoomed in for you guys before I share it with you. But yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Hey. See, you guys do that just to scare me. I swear to God. Thank you for the ice cream diary. I appreciate it. So that is our Sphinx. The Alaskan Sphinx. Hey, Eli, how you doing, hon? Thanks for coming in. So that's our Sphinx. What do you guys think? Because now they're saying that the Sphinx in Egypt is actually rebuilt, and it's supposed to be, I almost said Thor, it's supposed to be Anubis. I'm doing good, Eli. Thank you for asking. But yeah, they're saying the Sphinx in Egypt is supposed to be Anubis. Yeah, it's definitely detailed. I wish there was other pictures. The other pictures, you'll see what I go through. Because see, like that's the one they go skiing on. So searching this stuff is not. Plus, there's not a lot of documentations except about skiing and all that up here in Alaska. So there's not too many pictures. But you know what? I don't know if I knew exactly Alaska State Park or Alaska State, well, obviously, Offutt Sphinx. I think I might have seen it, but like the people that live here call it a dog or the man. I just remember driving to Anchorage with a good friend of ours and him showing me the mountain and saying, they say there's a face in that mountain. So I might have seen this one before, but I'm not sure. The lion. I think there's a lion. Is it the lion? Let me see. I know it's on the way. No, that's not going to help me. Yeah, it's going to bring up sea lions. I had one of them come right up next to me, and it was scary as hell. They're huge, just to let you know. Hey, Rob, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. But yeah, so I might have seen that. Oh, I wasn't even sharing that. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I was sharing it. Okay. I might have seen that one. So, I mean, the profile looks like there's something there. Not going to lie. But my take on that is they're finding out that if they're finding, damn it, diary. Thank you, diary. If they're finding out that the Egyptian pyramid is supposed to be Anubis, wouldn't ours be Anubis too? I mean, that looks like the Sphinx, right? I don't know, just my take on it. I'm not sure. So this guy said, this is written obviously by Christopher Ripple. Hold on, let me share the screen. We walk through life with wonder, some of us more and more, and some of us much less. With the designed insanity of life, it is no wonder we do not have the time to explore or learn our deeper roots of history, uncover the structure that led us through time and social experiences with our real stories and past that we should learn from. Alas, that is not how today works in the controlled societies. Those who know not what their histories are forced to relive it, good or bad, controlled or free. One such discovery was exposed here in Alaska. Yeah, definitely, diary. Nome, that's where the fourth kind happened. This is Nome up here. This is Anchorage way down here. I'm way over here somewhere. Not even on the page. Nome, far upper left, then Uncolet on the eastern edge of Norton Sound, then purple circle with the white pyramid in latitude. So apparently there's more. Hey, Freaky Geek, welcome back, honey. And McKinley is right. Is that McKinley? I can't see. Let me blow this up a little bit. That's not what I want. It's not helping me. That's McKinley. Yeah, I believe that's Mount McKinley right there, which is now, like I said, Mount Denali, which is stupid, but what are you going to do? And longitude west of McKinley, red circle, where retired Navy captain reported finding a square anomaly in a landscape that could be in sight of a large underground pyramid. Oh, it was 1992. On May 22nd, 1992, China tested the largest nuke of the time underground at Lop Nor. This gave seismologists in Alaska and the world the forewarning to ready and perform common practice called crustal studies, which measures the reverberations through the mantle. So this reverberation led to the discovery of the Black Pyramid of Alaska. The following are three separate occurrences involving the cover up. Thank you for, hold on, I got to see what that was. Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate the ice cream. So here we go. Bruce L. Pearson, CEO, broadcastventure.com, Clinton, New Jersey. His family had lived in, even though I'm from Alaska, doesn't mean makes these titles any easier. Uncolet for generations. My family relayed to me that we had been talking through the U.S. Air Force guys who came up to fuel on their way out of Uncolet as a parts delivery mission. Hey, Terry, how are you, hon? How are you doing? Welcome. I guess they hit it off, and the pilot said to my father, look, you aren't scheduled, but I got a slot for you if you want to take a ride out with us and then come back. My dad assumed that he was going on this flight with them to an early warning DEW line installation. But when they got there in the chopper, the pilot said, no, this is not a DEW line. This is some weird installation. My dad asked, what do you mean weird? And the pilot said, well, it's underground. Then the co-pilot spoke up and said, this is some power generating facility that is underground. My dad asked, what? Is it a nuclear power plant? The pilot said, no, it's not nuclear. It's nothing we built. It's thousands of years old. It's cut stone like a pyramid, and it's 150 feet below ground, and they can't figure out what the hell it is. Then the pilot said, this is all off the record. I'm not even supposed to know this, but I was told that this thing can put out enough power to power the whole North Slope. Now, if anybody's familiar with the North Slope of Alaska, that's like our big thing. Like everybody wants to work at the North Slope. It's for the pipeline. Everybody wants to work for the North Slope because that's Boku books. The whole state of Alaska and this thing could power the entire country of Canada. That's how much juice it puts out, and they don't have a clue where it came from, and it's underground. So it's like almost like the pyramids that they're trying to say, was a power plant. So this is an actual, like you think about it, this is a pyramid that's like the Pyramid of Giza. It's supposed to be bigger than the Pyramid of Giza that puts out power. What they thought Giza's pyramid did at one point. Right, Freaky Geek? Yeah. I think he came out like years after. Because you just get to the point where you're like, I don't give a shit. If you're going to kill me, kill me. People need to know. So they had 3 aluminum or stainless steel looking cases, similar to Pelican cases for TV and film production. My dad said they were beautiful cases. They were all machined. Welcome back, Eli. A retired Navy captain who chose to remain unnamed that was stationed in Alaska had heard the interview that had contacted the interviewer, Linda Moulton Howe, and here's the letter. Retired U.S. Navy captain. This location is near western boundary of Denali National Park at 150 miles west of Talkeetna. I know some of the words in Alaska. The nearest settlement and some 230 miles from both Anchorage and Fairbanks. Therefore, I mean, just to think, I'm sorry to interrupt, but just to think, I could have seen this thing and I didn't even know it was here. You know what I'm saying? It's so wild to me. And I will definitely be taken. I mean, not that I can get in there. I know I would. You tried to sneak in. I thought you were saying, because I would love to sneak in there. I'd probably get shot, but therefore, it is not logical to assume that there would be any type of agriculture or timber operations in this area that would create any type of straight lines or rectangle spaces, shapes, or fields or forests. What is even more strange is that I measured the dimensions of the square that is visible. The length each of the 4 equals of 1,510 feet. The interesting thing about the dimensions is that it is exactly twice the length of the sides of the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is 755 feet on the side. The coincidence is interesting to say the least. They would make this square anomaly on the surface 4 times the area of the base of the Great Pyramid, which is least is consistent with your witness who said the underground pyramid was supposedly identified during the May 22, 1992 Chinese underground test was much larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza. I don't know about Linda either. There's some strange qualities of her. I think she's like, I don't know. I like how she formats because she's so equipped with, how she says things. So it's like, hi, Ron, by the way. So it's like easier for me to understand. But there are some quirks about her. But I thought she was crazy way back when. I remember hearing an interview when she was talking about the lizard people. And here I talked about the lizard people. So I don't know, But I get what you're saying, Ron. I know exactly what you're saying. So I have tried to measure the orientation of the anomaly, and it appears that as if the northeast side is oriented to 330 to do 150 true north. I know that if there's any revelation to this number, or I don't know if there's any revelation to this number. Freaky geek. However, in checking out the magnetic declination for the area, 63 north and 152 west, the current direction is 18% east, or not 18%, you know what I mean, which means the magnetic compass direction today of this line would be close to 312. So anyway, talking about the magnetic anomalies. She is connected to from very, yeah. Ron, you are totally right. One addition feature that I found interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. I wanted to skip down, but not that far. This range is due to relatively close proximity of this location is to the magnetic North Pole, which the position relatively is true north varies greatly. It is not inconceivable that this distant past, the magnetic declination was a very high westerly reading, which means that the magnetic compass heading could have approached 360 north, indicating that whatever might be causing the square anomaly, bear with me, that's a very hard word for me to say, could have been built pointing to magnetic north at the time it was created. More likely, however, that it is a structure below the surface. It was probably oriented with some astronomical feature such as a specific star. One additional feature that I found interesting was looking at the elevation of the anomaly moving along the various sides. If you go to Google and place lines outlining the four sides of the anomaly and right-click the lines and select elevation feature, you will see elevation plot of the line. When you move the line in the elevation drawing, an arrow will detail your transition down to the selected line. If you do this, the northeast-northwest boundary, the southeast-northeast boundary, and the northeast to southwest diagonal, you will see a very distinct vertical shear that exists at the northeast corner of the square. The vertical shear is from 6 foot to 9 foot, located 300 feet from the northeast corner down both sides and 400 down the northeast southwest diagonal. The shear face appears to create a vertical wall perpendicular to both southeast and northeast side and the northwest side of the anomaly. I don't know if there's a significance to these shear walls, but they don't exist at any other point on the anomaly, which is relatively flat across the dimension. I hope this information is of interest to you. I would be curious to see if anyone else has identified this anomaly or if you believe it bears further investigation. Best regards, MW Professional Engineer, Captain USNR, retired. Freaky, I know. See, people are watching you. So this is Douglas Ann Mushler, CW2, Commissioner War Officer, Counterintelligence. Now, counterintelligence, isn't that people that mislead us? Or is that CIA? Well, I mean, not to mislead us, but I mean, what's the people that, what are they called? Disinformation people? Yeah, I know both, Jim. That's why I laughed. Is that what counterintelligence is, or they're just counterintelliging other intelligence offices of different? I should know this. I don't know. Okay, so U.S. Army stationed in Alaska in 1992. I'm out processing in 1992. It was late November to early December. And I'm sitting there and, oh, this is the whole thing what she was saying. Oh, no, maybe not. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is who wrote her when saying that they say the one that went to the TV station. So I'm out processing in 1992. It was late November to early December, and I'm sitting there in the orderly room, about 40 other people, and we were waiting for the last formation of the day. We're watching the TV, Channel 13, a news program, when they started talking about this Chinese detonation of an underground nuclear bomb that was set up earlier that year, May 12 at 1 a.m. And then something about a pyramid being discovered in Alaska is the result. Hi, Salem. How you doing? How are you? Thanks for coming in. Who don't count? Yeah, Men in Black. They could be the Men in Black. That's not pizza. No, that's broccoli. No, Jim, where's the Doritos? I'm doing good, thanks. So I went home and got a recorder and set it up, but I couldn't find the story. I called home to my dad, a TV news hound in the lower 48s. He religiously watched the morning, noon, and evening and 11 o'clock news, yet he had heard nothing about it. I mean, this was a big story. A pyramid bigger than the one in Egypt, and it's not being covered in the lower 48s, which is not shocking because most people think Alaska is not part of the lower 48s. Or America, I should say. Beef jerky's good, though. Beef jerky's good. It seemed as there was some block of the story getting to the lower 48s, or perhaps the story had only been picked up only by local Channel 13 in Anchorage. That's the only thing I can come up with at the time. And then he went to the next day to ask the general manager about it. So, I mean, that's creepy. You know what I just found out, since it says caribou? I didn't know caribou, like reindeer, was captured caribou. Something you learn new in Alaska. Sorry, I thought I'd throw that in there. I'm like, when people say, I'm going caribou hunting, I'm like, the last thing I thought of was reindeer. Little things you learn in Alaska. But yeah, if you ask Alaska natives, I mean, I try to find people that will talk to me about the pyramids up here, but nobody, I mean, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Like, they have their own traditional stories. It's not like, when I say Alaska is like 10 years, the lower 48s from 10 years ago, I truly mean that. Like, the cops don't stop snowmobilers from riding around here, or four-wheelers. That's how most people get to the grocery store. You know what I mean? Kind of like one of my friends was telling a story on YouTube, and he's like, yeah, I was up in Alaska. I slid right through a stop sign. I didn't get in trouble. Everybody stopped to make sure I was okay. And that's how it is up here. It's very, because there's a lot of natives up here, like Yupik, and I don't, that's the only Alaskan native village I know. But I don't know. They're very steeped in their history, like what they know. Like, I was teaching my friend Janet about paranormal. And I wish she would come up. I really do. But she like was telling me her traditions and stuff, and I was looking them up to see what, like, something in our world that was close to their tradition, like what it would be in their tradition. So yeah, it's really interesting to learn a whole different, living up here. I love it. I really do. I mean, our police blotters, at least in Valdez. Now, I'm gonna say Anchorage and Fairbanks are different than where I live. This is where I live. I'll show you. For anybody that doesn't know what Valdez looks like. I live basically on an island. Open image, a new tab. Let me share the screen. Oh, why is it doing that? If you blink really really fast. This is where I live. This is Valdez. That's all of Valdez. Hurry back, freaky geek. But that's all of Valdez. I live basically on an island. There's only one road out, one road in, or you could fly in or take the ferry. This is our boat docks. And right across the way here, down here, right across the way is basically Alyeska. On the other side of the mountains where the Exxon oil spill happened. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of interesting, it's very rich in obviously nature, but it's very rich in native history. It's really cool living here. I love it. I love it. And there's a lot of different things. Like I said, in Old Valdez, they got wiped out by a tsunami. I want to go down there and investigate. Lisa, where are you from, hon? I know I probably asked you that before. Where are you from? Because I'll tell you except this winter. This winter, it's been windy, really bad. But if you're from East Coast, I should say, the winters are warmer here than in Western New York. And I lived near Buffalo. So the winters are warmer here. I could go outside in a hoodie in the wintertime, normal wintertime. Right. I thought Canada too. Oh yeah, you're close. You're close, Western Canada. Okay. Right, I can understand that. Oh, okay. Oh my God. I'm so jealous because if I lived there, I'd be going to Vancouver and stalking down Supernatural. Hurry back, Terry. I'm jelly. The Supernatural set, I should say. So I am jelly, yes. So yeah. You understand. See, but it's colder on the East Coast. Lisa, it's colder on the East Coast when it comes to wintertime. Oh, excuse me, I got a call. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I mean, I really would love to be able to go explore the Black Pyramid, Dark Pyramid, whatever you want to call it. I want to know. It's underneath, it's bigger than the Pyramid of Giza. And it's like right out my doorstep. I mean, miles away, but right out my doorstep. I wouldn't doubt it, Jim. I think they're all over the world. And like Lisa brought up, I believe it was Lisa. Yeah, it was Lisa that brought up about the pyramids and the oceans. Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff we don't know about. Your eyes came up blue? Did they really? That's awesome. I've never seen them come up any other color. No, I see brown. Did they come up blue on the screen? Maybe? Yeah, exactly, John. Bosnia, yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, there's so many pyramids and why they were built. That one underwater, maybe I'll do that next week. I'm not sure. But I mean, that one underwater, hell, that's pretty for supposedly a land that had more water than land for a land that didn't make any sense. I'm waiting for him to come up on the screen. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think in the earth, like I said, is a big Makerba. And all its points are pointing out at, that's why these anomaly I can't say it, happens. I have to really, the only other word that I have problems with is literally. I have to stop myself because my tongue goes all haywire. But yeah, it's wild to find out all these different things. I mean, to think that I could have been looking at it and didn't even know it. You know what I mean? Is there, Ron? That's another thing that I see posted up, all these different formations. Yes, Lisa, you're exactly right. And what I want to know is why can't we see them? Not see them, but I mean, why are we kept away from them? You know what I mean? I understand that archaeologists. I get that totally because so much of our knowledge has been destroyed. So much. So much of our history has been destroyed. Probably. And I get that too, Jim. I get that there's secret bases and they don't want people, but I mean, come on. Just like a lot of people sit there and talk about Area 51. I get why Area 51 was secret. We're building planes and like the stealth and that. They can't tell, we all have big mouths. You know what I mean? So they don't want their enemies knowing what they're building. Definitely. I totally get that. But there's some things that just, if there's a pyramid, I want to freaking see it. Oh, yeah, Ron, I can get, that's why I didn't, on my new computer, I didn't download Google Earth because of the fact that I would be on there for hours. I'd be on there for hours. I mean, it's just, I look at things differently, and that's why I love discussing this stuff with you guys, to your take on it. Like, I mean, why is there a pyramid? Who put the freaking pyramid in Alaska? You know what I mean? I mean, believe me, I mean, the natives here are very, they're very old school. Yeah. And who can move stuff like that? That's what I want to know, like the Pyramid of Giza. And this one has the power that they thought Giza had at a different time. I mean, the power coming out of this, okay, can, like that one website I was looking at, the power is supposedly coming out of this could freaking all of Alaska and all of Canada. I mean, and how long have humans known about it? Exactly. Yes, Ron, but the thing with it is with that stuff, the Roman Catholics, if nothing was by so much stuff could have been destroyed because of, excuse me, Catholicism. And if it wasn't saying that it was their way, they destroyed it. Welcome back, Freaky Geek. You know what I mean? Kind of like, that even the Egyptians destroyed. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Even the Egyptians destroyed, certain pharaohs and that because they didn't like it. Look at the pharaoh, that wasn't even on the wall of pharaohs. I'm doing good, thanks. So yeah, I mean, there's just so much we don't know about, but I think we're slowly going to find the answers. I honestly do. I think everybody is in a stage where, not everybody, but most everybody is like, I hate the word awakening. I really hate that word for some reason, but well, that's like, that's why I didn't touch much on the climate change or whatnot, because let me tell you, if anybody's seen, hold on, we're still getting snow. Okay. We're still getting snow. Hold on, let me show you something. I'm on my Facebook. Yeah, exactly, Ron. Okay. Let me. I forgot what I was doing here. Wow. Okay, you see these? You see these up here? Those are not street lights. Well, if you read my post, you'd know. Those are snow markers. Okay. That's how much snow we get here in Valdez. That's on actually Richardson Highway. Yeah, no, those aren't street lights. Those are snow markers so they can tell where the snow is. Where the how far they have from the edge of the road. Eli, our Domino's is 6 hours away. So I can't order shit. But yeah, just in case, anybody was wondering how much snow we get, our record is 900 and some inches. We've had 3 avalanches this far. There you go. Our season snowfall is 465 inches. Just in February alone, we got 108 inches. Yeah. So, I mean, global warming isn't a thing for me to follow. I mean, is our, I'm trying to see. What other fun facts? No, what's this now? Oh, I don't want that. Never mind. That's Alaska that's Valdez from the air. Why is there no post? Okay. Yeah, there is our snow blower that we use. That's our snow blower that we use. This is in town. Now, mind you, this is in town. All right, Freaky Geek, take care, hon. So that's our snow blower. We don't have regular snow plows. We have tractors. I don't want to, no. I don't want to send a message. I'm good. That's the kids' snowmobile races. I'm probably boring you guys with this stuff, but that's Thompson's Pass. That's why everybody goes skiing. There's a dude skiing. That's it. That's it. But yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of, right, Ron? That's okay, because I'm about to end anyway. So yeah, so what do you guys think about the pyramids? I mean, besides that, God, I want to get down there so bad. I saw, like I said, I saw that Linda Moulton interview a while ago, and I was just like, I was going to do, like I said before, I was going to do something totally different today for What If Wednesdays. And just like the last whole week, the synchronicities of no matter what I looked at, it kept talking about the Dark Pyramid. Freaky Geek is jumping around. Thank you, Lisa. If you guys, like I said, yeah, even in the Discord, if you have any ideas you want to share what I should talk about, or if you want to come up on the show, definitely, hit me up. All right, Jim, you come up here and we'll go sneak into the Dark Pyramid. I think y'all should come up here and we'll storm it like Area 51. only a lot quieter and with snowshoes. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I mean, Ron, it's just really cool. Yes, the ocean pyramid. I will write that down. Yeah, party time. Raise the roof. Um, don't tell anybody I did that. No, but yeah, definitely it's interesting, right? These things are interesting. And yeah, we'll do Ocean's Pyramid next week since we'll have a little thing on pyramids here. Definitely I'll do more research on that. You know what's hard is I find all the good shit while I'm at work. And then I don't want to send too many stuff because I got to send it from the hotel to my email. Just like I hope, because everybody plays such great music in their streams on DLive, I hope my boss doesn't look at the security cameras because I'd be dancing. And that, you have to understand, my boss, he'll sit there and put that stuff on YouTube. I know, Lisa, I wish too. There's so much, but it's so hard to find information on that. Because, I've looked up Black Pyramid, Dark Pyramid, Underground Pyramid. I mean, there's just, Alaska is tricky when it comes to finding out information here. It really is. But I should ask some of no, because most of the coasties that come here are newbies. I don't know. I'll figure out something where I'll ask the people. The old people, not the old people, but the older people that live here will probably find me nuts. See, and that's the thing, I have to be careful because people here are not into the paranormal like it is the lower 48. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, when I talk about ghosts and spirits and stuff, it freaks, like my friend who's native, freaks her out. I know, right? I'll just give them Doritos. I'll give you a Cool Ranch chip. I'll give you a cheddar. So it's hard to talk to people here, seriously, when it comes to stuff like that. For some reason, Alaska is just very back in the day, and they don't, it's crazy. Or Eli can just buy everybody pizza here. That's what I should do. I should go to Anchorage, right? Load up on like Burger King and McDonald's and Taco Bell, and I better shut up or I'm going to make myself hungry. Bring it all back since we don't have none of them here. See, but that's the thing, Jim. It's not that they're not interested. The lore still lives on here. I feel like I'm living in England sometimes. The lore just, Domino's and Doritos. There we go. The lore lives on and people are scared here with talking about that stuff. All the time. Like I said, different parts of Alaska, I don't know, but here, Valdez, I think because they're so steep in superstition and everything. I mean, you got to remember this whole town, and we found out another theory that why some of this place might be haunted is because in 1964, for those who don't know, I'll ramble on a few more seconds. For those of you who don't know, 1964, Valdez, and Anchorage and all that had a 9-point-something earthquake happen. Okay? Caused a tsunami, and old Valdez was wiped out. There was a lot of people killed, obviously. Yeah, exactly, Ron. That's a lot of it too. But so Old Valdez, this is a rebuilt town. And some of the old cabins from Old Valdez have been moved to this Valdez. The only thing standing over in Old Valdez is the concrete for the post office. So I mean, they're very like superstitious. I'm sure people are like that where you are too, Lisa, if I'm correct. It's just a very different place than the lower 48s. You know, they're very steeped in tradition. They're very, I mean, we still have gold rush days. Yes, exactly, Lisa, exactly. So when it comes to stuff like that, it's very touchy feely, and you have to be very careful, you know. Um, but yeah, they had I forgot how many foot waves there were that crashed down on Valdez, but it wiped out like a whole kids were on a field trip out at the boat docks and everything. I mean, it was bad and very sad. So you just have to be very careful in talking to people. They're not so it's not that they're thin-skinned or anything. It's just certain things it's like living in an old country. But with that being said, I think I'm going to end this now. Werewolves in Canada? Is that like Dogman? Or actual werewolves, like Seventh Son of the Seventh Son werewolves? Ron? And you guys know thank you, Jim. Take care, hon. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all so much. If you guys have suggestions or whatnot, or there's information you'd like me to share, you can always hit up my email at shadowsofthemoon1 dot not dot shadowsofthemoon1 at yahoo.com dot. But yeah, with that being said, that's awesome. I will definitely check into that, Ron. I'm always open to discussing the things you guys want to hear about. Always, always. I love chatting with you guys. And now I'm really going to end the stream. I hope you guys have a great day. Let me see if my credits work. Hopefully they will. It'd be awesome if they did. Let's see. Any day now. It's supposed to come up with my moderators and everybody in the chat that's been chatting. This sucks. Someday it'll all work. Oh, maybe because I hit the wrong one? Maybe. Oh, credits. Is it going to do it? Really? Really? Thank you guys so much for coming on. That sucked. That sucked. Telling you. I'm getting so bleh. Anyway, Have a great day, all. Thank you, Power Car, for following. I appreciate it on my Twitch. I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, night, morning, whatever you guys are. You guys are the bomb. I appreciate you guys all being here to the end. And I hope the stream was interesting for you. All right, guys. Have a great night, day, morning. Take care. I love you. I'll see you around. And tomorrow is, what is tomorrow? Thursday. Game day. It's game day. So come play some games. I don't know. Don't ask. I don't know. I'll probably get copyrighted for that. Have a good day, guys. I love you.